Good morning. It is time for coffee and football. I am playing the CFL week 16 and 17 in this video. I'm using my fictional franchise football rules. This is an instant results game. This has been an absolute blast. So I have brought all the teams in the league up to date as of this weekend. So I probably will not update the cards again until the playoffs. So then I will update all the teams that are going to make the postseason, and then they'll play out all the way to the Grey Cup with those ratings. But everybody's up to date as of this last week. Okay. So, well, as of, oh my God, how many days ago did I do this? Well, I made a video. So whenever I made that video, that's what these are up to date to. So on the channel a couple of days ago, I made a video letting everybody know that I've updated the teams. So you'll find that whatever date that was, they have been brought up to date to that point. So if they've played any games since then, which I don't think they have, it's been a whirlwind. All right, so we've got Montreal at Toronto. Montreal comes in here with health, and Toronto at 8-5 is healthy. So here we go. Montreal, we're going to go with the underdogs, so 6 dice for Montreal on offense. Montreal is coached by Jason Moss. Alexander, the quarterback. Thomas Erlington and Theus are the back. Sneed, Speaker, Philpott, and Rambo are our chief receivers. Our place kicker here is Maltos. Return man is Letcher. Of course, none of that will matter with an instant results game, but I like to tell people who's responsible for this. All right, Montreal is going to have a good day. 18-22 plus 5, 27 points for Montreal. That is maybe enough, might be enough to beat. Toronto's fantastic on offense. Unfortunately, they have a porous defense. All right, Toronto, coached by Ryan Dinwiddie. We are at BMO Field. Arbuckle at quarterback, LeBourne and McMahon are the backs. Meidel, Coxie, Brissett, and Unger are the receivers. And Harula, who is the place kicker. Here we go. Toronto's been one of the highest scoring teams in the league in my play. Let's see if it matters here. 10. 19. 25. 29. 30, 31 minus 2, 29. What a game. 29, 27. Toronto will climb to 10-5, and Montreal will continue to struggle. They just don't have the offensive support. They have the best defense, one of the best defenses in the conference in that division. They just haven't had the offense this year. There it is. Toronto at home at BMO Field, climbing to 10-5 and continuing to pace Winnipeg and Hamilton. Saskatchewan is kind of way out in front here. All right, game number 2. BC Lions. Let's see here. Game number 2, BC at Calgary. Ooh, Calgary in real life having a brilliant season. They are 6-6 in my, where are we at here? BC, here we go. So let's take a look at these two teams. Buck Pierce coaching the BC Lions. They've got Rourke at quarterback, Butler and Pickett, fullback, which is not a big role player in Canadian football, really, but no injuries for the BC Lions. Hatcher, Katoy, McGinnis, and Berryhill are the main receivers. White is their place kicker. And the Calgary Stampeders, coached by Dave Dickinson, at McMahon Stadium. Adams at quarterback, Mills and Vaughn are the backs. Philpott, Rhymes, Alford, Jones, and Brooks are the main receivers. And Paredes is the place kicker. They are down a man. Uh-oh. So we're going to say that's Adams. Calgary, I'm going to put QB injured. What that means is Calgary's going to be down 1 die. So the BC Lions are going to be... BC, by the way, is 5-8 in my project. Calgary has climbed out of the hole. They were, at one point, Calgary was 1-3, 1-4. They've climbed out of the hole, and they are 6-6. unfortunately, they're going to have an injury here. We're going to go with BC on the BC on the road will go first with 8. They do not have an injury, so Calgary may find themselves in trouble here if BC can get it done. All right, BC. Oh my Lord, that's a lot of ones. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, -7. That's a 5-point game. Well, 5 is an odd score, so we're going to say 6 for BC. That is not going to be enough. Calgary is the best rated team defensively based on what's happening in real life. Their offense is unfortunately today going to be down to 7 dice. 7 dice, excuse me. So there's a chance here, but with BC's +3 defense, Calgary cannot lose this game. That 7 defense was huge. Yeah, it's going to be 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 +3 is going to be 23 in a defensive fight. 5-9, BC Lions are struggling. Calgary now climbing to a winning record for the first time all year in my project. Again, nothing like the real life for Calgary yet. However, I suspect now that I've been able to rate these teams based on what they've done in real life. Calgary may see a surge pushing Saskatchewan on into the playoffs. There could be a real battle here in the final few weeks. All right, great game. Winnipeg at Ottawa. The Blue Bombers, holy cow, folks. Let's take a look at the Blue Bombers. We got Mike O'Shea as the head coach of this team. We got now I still have Kolaros starting here, but it could be Strevler in real life. Peterson and Oliveria are the backs. Both of them fantastic. Dembski, Wheatfall, Stearns, and Clercius. I think it's Clercius, are the wide receivers, and Castillo is our place kicker. On the flip side, they're facing the Ottawa Red Blacks, who have had a surge. They have won 4 of their last 5 games. They are only 4-9. Winnipeg comes in here 7-6, by the way. Bob Dice is their coach. I got to give him credit. They started out 0-8 or 0-7 or something, and he has rallied the troops. They have been much more interesting in the last few weeks. Quarterback Brown, Stanback is the running back. Hardy, Lewis, Pimpleton, and Addison are the receivers, and Ward is the place kicker. We are at TD Place. All right, let's roll and see if there's any problems with Winnipeg. Nope. Has Ottawa got any injuries? No, they do not. So, folks, we come in here looking pretty good. We got Winnipeg Blue Bombers scoring 8 dice a game with a good, solid defense. They do not surrender any extra points. The Red Blacks coming here with a 7 offense. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And a +2 defense. So we're going to roll Ottawa first, as they will be the underdogs. Here we go. And that kind of sets the table for the big team. 12, see here, 10, 14, no, excuse me, 10, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. They will not get a bonus from Winnipeg. And we will stick with 25. We'll just say they got a rouge in there at some point. All right, Winnipeg gets 8 dice, and they're going to get a bonus. And here we go. Can Winnipeg continue their winning ways of late? We've got 10, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, +2, 27. Winnipeg's going to squeeze out the win in a hard-fought road battle against a surging Ottawa. Ottawa has absolutely been fun in the last few weeks. And, folks, they give Winnipeg a bit of a start, as Winnipeg's got to be feeling the old heart skip a beat there. Wow, great game. We're going to be looking at the 3-10 in Edmonton Elks. They are now the worst team in my project, record-wise, versus one of the best teams in the league, Hamilton Ticats. Here we go. The Edmonton Elks roll in here with Mark Killam at head coach. Ford, Rankin, and Leak are the backs. Ford, the quarterback, Rankin and Leak are backs. Dunbar, Gittins, Julian, Grant, Mathis are our receivers. Blanchard is our place kicker. The Edmonton Elks, just not good enough. They feature a 7 offense, 0 defense, so they don't surrender anything extra to enemies. but their offense just can't produce enough points. On the flip side, we got the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Scott Milanovic at coaching this team. Bo Mitchell, quarterback, Augustine and Bell are the backs, White, Lawler, Smith, and Bridges are the chief receivers, and Leggio is doing the place kicking duties. Let's see if the Edmonton Elks come in here injured. They do. Oh, it makes it even worse for poor Edmonton. So we're going to say Ford's out, QB injured. They're going to get 6 dice, right? And let's find out what Edmonton does. Wow, not bad. Got to give them credit. Let's see here, 10, 16, 18, 19. The Ticats don't surrender anything more, but 19 is admirable. Very, very good for Hamilton, despite having their quarterback out for this game. That's not bad at all. The Ticats, again, are looking at 9 dice. Let's roll to see if they have any ill. They do. They're out a man. We're going to make that their QB. We're just going to have, it's easier to target the QB as an excuse for why they don't get their top dice. 2, 6, and 8. So they normally would have 9 as one of the highest scoring teams in the league. They're going to have 8 today. And again, the defense of Edmonton will not help them, folks. This could be an upset of the season right here. 3-10 Edmonton's already put 19 on the board. Hamilton can choke here. Oh, no. No. What was I saying? 22, 28. Oh, wait, no, here we go. Let's see, 10, 20, 32, 35, 36, and no other bonus. What was I saying? Hamilton's offense continues to rip it up. Edmonton falls to 3-11. Hamilton climbs to 10-4, folks. Again, Toronto forcing the pace. Wait, Toronto should be 9-5. Excuse me. Whoops. Where did I get 10? I must have saw that 10. 9-5. Sorry. So Toronto's still pushing pace. 9-5. Calgary's 7-6. Winnipeg, again, outpacing Calgary here at 8-6. And then Hamilton continuing their winning ways, 10-4. Fantastic. So, week 17 about to get underway. Calgary at Montreal. So let's grab Calgary. And where's Montreal? There we are, the Montreal Alouettes. All right, so Calgary comes in here 7-6. And Montreal is 4-10. So the only thing going for Montreal, folks, is that -2 defense, and they are at home. That's really all they've got going for them. Let's take a look back on Montreal, and there we go. So Montreal at home in this one. Jason Moss is the head coach. Alexander the quarterback. Thomas Erlington and Theus are the backs. Sneed, Speaker, Philpott, and Rambo. Maltos doing the kicking duties. And Calgary coming in here, again, started really poorly in this league, and they have managed to be pretty much a winner over the last 6 weeks. They are 7-6. Calgary comes in here with Dave Dickinson, Adams at quarterback, Mills, Vaughn, Philpott, Rhymes, Jones, and Brooks, and Paredes. We're going to roll to see if Calgary's suffering any injuries. They are indeed. This will be Adams. So Adams, again, Calgary, he was out, so he's still out is what that tells me, right? And that means they're going to be down to 7 dice for this game. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7. So Calgary hurting, limps into Montreal with Adams still out at quarterback. Let's find out what they do. But they're going to have a great day. 10, 19, 22, 25, 28. And Montreal takes 2 away. 26 for Calgary. Uh-oh. Montreal, what do we have injury-wise here? Nobody. So Montreal's healthy at 4-10. They're going to get their 6 dice, so that's important. Last week, Montreal put up, despite, they put up 27. So if they can do that again this week, they will beat Calgary on the road here, which would be a shocker, to be honest with you. Calgary's a -7, so that ain't going to happen. So we're going to take away 7 right now, and we're going to get 10, 13 points. And Calgary doubles up Montreal to go to 8-6, and Montreal will fall to 4-11. just not their year this year for Montreal. So I can put that over there now. We will not need these teams because I'm only playing weeks 16 and 17. So this will put me a couple of weeks ahead of schedule. All right, we got Toronto coming in here at 9-5. And the BC Lions at 5-9. BC, man, for a while there, it was neck and neck, and then they've suddenly just not been able to win. And unfortunately, that is just the way it's been for them. They were kind of a step forward, step back, step forward, step back. And now they've kind of become just straight step backs, if that's the way to say it. Where's Toronto? There they are. So BC will be at home here in BC Place, and they will be facing Toronto with Ryan Dinwiddie head coach. Arbuckle, LeBon, and McMahon are the backs. Meidel, Coxey, Brissett, and Unger, and Harula, who is the place kicker. BC Lions coached by Buck Pierce. BC Place, Rourke, Butler, Hatcher, Katoy, McInnes, and Berryhill are the receivers. White is our place kicker. Let's check to see if the Argonauts have any injuries. They do not. BC Lions, do they have any injuries? They do not. So both teams are going to come in healthy. Wow, Toronto's going to get all 9 dice. Let's roll and find out. Toronto is 9-5. So we're going to roll BC first. They're going to get all 8 dice. And +5 thanks to Toronto's porous defense. So we've got 10, 20, 5, 26, +5, 31 for, +1, 31 for the BC Lions. That is huge, folks. I'm not certain Toronto's going to overcome that. +5 killing Toronto. And Toronto, with all 9 dice, they're going to get 10, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, +3, 33, 31. What a brilliant game. Toronto goes to 10-5, and BC just can't right the ship against a porous defense. Another great game. So last week we had a 27-25 between Winnipeg and Ottawa. We had a 29-27 between Toronto. Literally wins by 2 against Montreal. This week they win by 2 against BC. You might say Toronto is doing just enough every week to outpace the enemy. Unbelievable. Hamilton and Winnipeg are next up for the, again, continuing week 17. Winnipeg and Hamilton. We have got Hamilton coming into Winnipeg here at Princess Auto Stadium. Winnipeg coached by Mike O'Shea. And, of course, the Hamilton Tide Cats, who are one of the best teams in the league. Let's take a look here. Hamilton comes in with a 9 offense, 0 defense. Winnipeg, 8 offense, 0 defense. To be honest with you, unless there's an injury here, this could be anybody's game. Hamilton, are they injured? They are not. So Hamilton comes in here fresh with Mitchell at quarterback. Augustine and Bell are the backs. White, Lawler, Smith, and Bridges are their chief receivers. Leggio is their place kicker. Winnipeg, they're healthy, and they are coached by O'Shea. Caleros, Peterson, Oliveira, Dimsky, Wheatfall, Stearns, and Clercius, and Castillo. And we're going to go ahead and start with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers with 8 dice. There is no help from either defense. So Winnipeg needs to execute on offense. Wow, very nice. That's 10, 19. One of these was 4. 10, 19, 27, 28, 29, 30. No help. Wow. Winnipeg's going to score 30, folks, putting all the pressure on Hamilton with 9 dice. Can Hamilton get it done? Holy cow. Scott Milanovic coaching up this team. Let's see if they can put up that much. I don't think so. 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25. I'm going to make that a 24. We're going to make it more of a football number. 30-24 won't matter. They're lost anyway. But wow, Hamilton came in here, folks, just on a streak at 10-4. They're going to fall on the road against the Blue Bombers, folks, who are 8-6. They are now 9-6, and the gaps begin to close. Look at this. Toronto has caught up to Hamilton, and Winnipeg is now within a half a game of Hamilton. That is brilliant, folks. We're going to see some rough and tumble for the final few weeks to try to position themselves for the playoffs. Saskatchewan comes in here 12-1, the best team in the league. Edmonton, oh no, folks, don't. I had just dawned on me who they're playing. My gosh, poor Edmonton. They're 3-11. Wow. But we are in Edmonton, right? We are in Edmonton. So that's kind of positive, right? The Edmonton fans get to come and see a brilliant Saskatchewan team, right? You know, you pay your tickets, you want to see something good. Well, Edmonton fans can celebrate the Saskatchewan Roughriders coming in here. A chance to see a 12-1 juggernaut. So maybe that'll fill the seats. I don't know. Saskatchewan, are they healthy? They are, big time. Is Edmonton healthy? They are. All right, here we go. Saskatchewan. We're going to roll Saskatchewan first. This might make it kind of interesting. Saskatchewan with 8 dice. All right, Saskatchewan, coached by Corey Mace. Trevor Harris is the quarterback. Ole and Stevens are the backs. Johnson, Myers, Emilus, and Robustelli are the receivers. Lather is the place kicker. Let's see if they can go to 13-1. Oh my Lord. I don't know if you guys can see those numbers. They almost maxed out what they could possibly do. Gee, many Christmas. That's going to be 12, 22, 32, 35. No modifier from Edmonton. 35 for Saskatchewan. Edmonton's going to get 7 dice and a -6 against this rough. This is the best team in the league at 8 and -6. Calgary is an 8 and -7. But Saskatchewan has been productive with these numbers. Wow, great game by Edmonton. -6. We'll pull one of these out. They did the best they could. 10, 16, 21, 23. Edmonton, you got to give them credit, man. They fought their butts off. 35-23. Unfortunately, they fall to 3-12. Saskatchewan climbs to 13-1, and that puts us, folks, in my project at week 18 already. I have now completed 17 weeks of the 2025 CFL season. I've got week 18, 19, 20, 21. And then we get the East semifinals versus the West semifinals to be determined. And then, of course, we'll have the East final, the West final to be determined, and then the Grey Cup, 112th Grey Cup. Unbelievable. So week 18, we're going to see Saskatchewan with a shot at Ottawa. Ottawa's been much more competitive. However, I don't expect that to be a game. Hamilton and Toronto's ginormous. As Hamilton is 10-5, Toronto's 10-5. Folks, this is the serious football right there. And then Calgary and BC. Calgary is on a winning run. BC has kind of peaked, and then they just leveled off, and they have not won a game in a few weeks. So I think Calgary will probably improve there. So weeks 18 and 19, 20 and 21 are upcoming. But there it is, folks. We have completed 2 weeks of the Canadian Football League 2025 season, weeks 16 and 17. And we are starting to get very close to the end of a brilliant project. I have had more fun doing this project than I have any project in the last, I would say, the last year. I've enjoyed all of my games, as I always do, but this is just, for some reason, it's captivated me. And it's just been a lot of fun. It gets the imagination going. And I'll be honest, I've really enjoyed FFF. This is a game I created a long time ago. It's a game that I prepared to publish last year, but never did, and decided to go ahead and do it. I wanted this project to get a little more accurate, so I went ahead a few weeks ago and used FFF to rate the teams. I had enough data to rate the teams to try to create a more accurate example of what's happening in the CFL. It may be too late, as I played up to 11 weeks before I made these. I was able to extrapolate legitimate data. So for some teams like Calgary, it may be too late, as Calgary had struggled in the other games. BC was doing better in the other games. So it's like things have kind of, and Saskatchewan, of course, is doing not quite this good in real life, but close. So long story short, it's actually reminded me of why I invented this years ago and why I need to enjoy it more. It's just it's been a blast to just knock out games quickly. So we've seen Calgary's quarterback out for 2 weeks, and we have seen Edmonton and Hamilton's quarterbacks were dinged for Week 16. This week, only Calgary's quarterback was still out. They did still manage to win and go to 8-6. Again, next week we got Toronto, Hamilton, both 10-5. That's going to be a huge game. There weren't a lot of other, and then Calgary. Oh my God, I think it was Calgary and BC. So probably going to see just one really great game between Toronto and Hamilton next week. I think Winnipeg's got the bye. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.